Ladies and gentlemen, so, before we get started, I want to defend myself a little bit. I didn't spend the last 5 hours sleeping. No, I did get down for about a good solid 2 hours, though. I was not a small nap. I apparently needed that. But the more important thing I got done is the last 3 hours I spent finally finishing up the paperwork for all of the expansions, not including Endwalker. Now, that does mean I still have to finish the auditing and paperwork for Endwalker, but since that's in progress, I don't feel quite as worried about that, at least not at the moment. So, I thought I'd share some little tidbits about the audit. So first of all, let me give you just the basic scores, the updated scores here. ARR, golden number is -26. Heaven's Word is 132. Stormblood is 148. And Shadowbringer is 490. Now, there's some other stats there, but I think that speaks for itself, really. And it's no wonder that Shadowbringer is when I was finally really hooked to the game. Let's look at some ratios. For example, story ratios. ARR was 52%, just barely net positive. Heaven's Word was 69%, much better. Stormblood was 65%, went down a little bit. And Shadowbringers is a whopping 82%, which is really high for that long of a work. Gameplay-wise, obviously this is FF14, so it doesn't fare quite as well. But Heaven's Word had a 43% gameplay ratio, aka net negative. Heaven's Word had 57, so eking over the line. Stormblood had 62, and Shadowbringers had 64. So each expansion has gotten better ratio-wise. Density-wise, this is a funny one. So ARR had 0.06 story positives per hour. Heaven's Word had 0.76 per hour. Stormblood had 0.5 per hour. Shadowbringers had 1.7 story point positives per hour. Gameplay-wise, ARR is 0.1 negative per hour. Heaven's Word is 0.1 positive per hour. Stormblood is 0.4 positives per hour. And Shadowbringers is 0.5 positives per hour. But hang on, I got one last little tidbit for you I thought you might find amusing. So part of the auditing was organizing everything and categorizing everything, which helps me to catch holes in things. For example, we didn't give any brickwork positives at all to Shadowbringers. Could you believe that? So having the audit sheet is very, very helpful for catching all that kind of stuff. If you're wondering, the audit sheet didn't exist when we did FF14. That's why this is such a hassle. Because there's like 1,000 points to go through manually. So that's why it's taken me several hours across several days. Anyways. So, a couple factoids. Let's start with characters on the story axis. I think this is a funny one. So, ARR has 10 character positives and 4 negatives. Heaven's Word has 23 positives and 1 negative. Stormblood has 19 positives and 10 negatives. And Shadowbringers has 35 character positives and 4 character negatives. Let's talk about cutscenes. ARR has 2 cutscene positives and 1 cutscene negative. Heaven's Word has 5 cutscene positives and 1 cutscene negative. Stormblood has 15 cutscene positives and 6 cutscene negatives, and Shadowbringers has 34 cutscene positives and 2 cutscene negatives. Scrolling forward a little bit here. There's a bunch of stats here. I'm only really covering the big ones. Now, cutscenes. So, cutscenes are the middle tier. Moments are the bottom, and MSQ is the top. So, while we're on the subject, we had 2 moment positives in ARR, 11 moment positives in Heaven's Word, 2 moment positives in Stormblood, and 12 moment positives in Shadowbringers. And in terms of just MSQ in general, we had 6 positives in ARR and 10 negatives, 8 positives in Heaven's Word and 0 negatives, 7 positives in Stormblood and 0 negatives, and a whopping 24 MSQ positives with 4 negatives for Shadowbringers. Primary optional is a fun one. So in this game, primary optional is the raids and the class quests, pretty much. So this is a weird spread. So ARR had 22 positives to Prime Opt and 4 negative. Heavensward had 22 positives and 9 negatives. Stormblood had 18 positives and 9 negatives. And this is the weird one. Shadowbringers had 26 positives, more than any of the others, but also 17 negatives, more than the others, because Shadowbringers had the near raids and the weapon raids, and those sucked. Story-wise. So that's a fun spread there. What else we got here? I think that's really it that's noteworthy on the story axis. Let's look at the gameplay axis. Now, the overwhelming majority of gameplay positives come from bosses, level design, and kit, aka class design. So why don't we cover those three? And one other little factoid that I think you might find funny. Let's do the factoid first. Quest design. So, can anyone guess which expansion scored the best on quest design? Shadowbringers is correct, with a whopping -1, which puts it at the best. Stormblood was -4, Heavensward was -7, ARR was -8. None of them are net positive in quest design. Because let's be honest, quest design has never exactly been FF14's strong suit, has it? At least not on the gameplay axis. Thank you, the good senator. Thank you very, very much for your kind words and for your support. I appreciate both. If you want to put that towards increasing support in the future for other things, please let me know. Yeah, I figured Heavensward might push forward, but the funny thing is almost all of those 7 negatives are for the Moogle quests, whereas ARRs are for all over. Because ARR just had bad quest design top to bottom, right? Hang on. Here's a fun one. Music. This is an obvious one. Shadowbringers is in the lead, followed by Stormblood, followed by Heavensward, followed by ARR. It's pretty linear. There is a caveat to that, though, because Heavensward has the most song positives, whereas, Shadowbringers has the most music positives. ARR got 1 music positive total. And, honestly, that sounds unkind, but I stand by that completely. ARR's music is very wallpaper. It's very background, and it's fine, but it just doesn't hold a candle to even, like, FF4, for example, to be very blunt. You got it, good senator. Absolutely. Yeah, there's some good songs in the cities, and like the Coils and the Crystal Tower, and that's probably the one positive right there, to be blunt. No, so that's a good point, but actually no, Valerian. If a song is used well for a scene, that's actually a story positive to music. The idea is very simple. Music positives are for music, like just the soundtrack in general. If you like a certain album, then that's a music positive. But if you like a song on that album, then that's a song positive. Now, we're actually we're really strict about giving out song positives. In fact, we just came up with that last year with Ace Combat 5, I want to say. So that's a pretty recent change. All of them gig, 175. But no. Let's get into it. So, dungeon design, what I usually put as levels. 7 pluses to ARR, and 14 negatives. Dungeons sucked in ARR. By the way, that counts the changed and updated ones to Copperhell, and I don't remember the whole list. But, the updates. The updates brought those negatives down to 14. Heavensward had 17 pluses and 1 negative. Stormblood had 13 pluses and no positives. And Shadowbringers had 22 positives and 2 negatives. Now, if that sounds skewed because you'd think Stormblood would have more positives to level design, you're right, because you have to understand a level design positive is functionally an aggregate positive. The example I like to use is Mega Man. You think about a Mega Man stage. Think about all the aspects that make up that stage. All of those are individual things that could get individual positives. But if the whole stage is just trying to get generally good, then you just give the stage a positive. The reason that's relevant here, excuse me, is because Stormblood, well, in FF14's case, zooming in the camera more on a specific dungeon usually means zooming it in on the boss. So let's look at the boss positives. And then I'll answer Blade Jamal's question. So, for example, ARR got 14 boss positives and 5 negatives. Heaven's Word got 19 boss positives and 5 negatives. And Stormblood got 30 freaking 9 boss positives and 2 negatives. Oh, and Shadowbringers got 40 gameplay boss positives. Now, give me a second here. Where'd the document go? Here it is. It is a very large document. It's a 46-page review document, and it does not include Endwalker yet. But let me scroll. Let me find the gameplay negatives, and then we find the ARR. You're gonna have to give me a minute. This is a long document. Here we go. So the specific dungeons that got level negatives in ARR, in no particular order: Amdapor Keep, Aram Vale, Zamael Darkhold, Halatali, Snowcloak, Palace of the Dead, Sunken Temple of Karn, Wanderer's Palace, and looks like that's actually it. But several of those were doubled up, obviously. Last list, Kit, aka Class Design. Now, you could probably already guess where this is going. ARR had 7 class positives. Heaven's Word had 7 class positives. Stormblood had 10, and Shadowbringers had 23. I anticipate that Shadowbringers will continue to be the top of that, because, well, Endwalker certainly added some nice nuance, and every class is good by Endwalker. Shadowbringers, in my opinion, is when every class became good. It was finally the point in time at which every single class, you know, by 80, every class is a functional, fun, interesting class. And Endwalker is just not going to be able to keep up with that, you know? It's just like, and then more! Anyways. And that's what I've been waking on. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So let's try to get at least a little bit of the MSQ in, shall we? Like I said, I still have a little bit of paperworkiness to do. Because I got to clean up the Endwalker sheet, too. But I've already kind of started doing that, so that shouldn't be too bad. It certainly won't be several days' worth of work, at least, so that's something. Get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. Oh god, it's gigapudding. Okay. Okay. If I can't see her, she can't see me. And yes, the song positives. When we, oh Jesus Christ! All right. There are going to be several games in the future that are going to absolutely smash it when it comes to song positive. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. As always, your timing is most fortuitous. I wish to share with you news concerning Zero. You recall that in exchange for ether, she agreed to aid us in our search for my sister. At Yashtolda's suggestion, I began providing ether in the form of food, and this is all repetition. Repetition, 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 repetition. We're ready to go back to the void. Meantime, go fetch Zero. She was absent when I visited her chambers earlier, but I suspect you will find her in the corridor connecting Yuj and Kama. It seems she's grown partial to the view of the city it affords. As you command. Yeah, I'm not going to ding that. At least not any more than I already have. I at least understand why they do the 4-month recap. What irritates me is when they recap something in the quest that they have just covered. They did that twice in the previous MSQ, if you were paying attention. That's why the empty text negative exists, because it is just adding repetition at that point. Being like, hey, here's what happened 4 months ago. Sure. Hey, look, another vista that I'm never getting.
Everyone is so carefree.
We have given song negatives before. It's actually quite rare, but we have done it. We will be giving one song negative to Twilight Princess.
Concerned in spite of their weakness, and how easily their lives could be torn apart in an instant. Such luxury is a loss to us. We have no hopes or dreams, and even the release of death. Only hunger. Others are a means to an end, at times a literal one. We forge covenants with men and come here to feed, or to die. I thought it would be no different when I was summoned by Xenos. Lives were tools to him, to be used and discarded at whim. In that respect, he was a Voidsent at heart. But towards you, and you alone, he behaved differently. And I cannot fathom why.
He was horny.
What was it that drove him? What made him choose such an end? But enough about that man. He is dead and we are all better for it.
Agreed.
Why are you here? Was there something you needed? So you're heading back now. Then as per our bargain, I will go as well.
We are taking a bunch of food this time, right? Maybe some ether crystals. Maybe Blade Traval, who's just stabbed me directly through the chest. Excuse me, my name is Eris. Oh, wait. Hey, where did you get that emote, Giga? I mean, I know I'm the boring person who actually enjoys things like logistics and management, but I would actually find it engaging if there's a game where delving into something like the 13th is the primary gameplay mechanic. Now think about it for a second. It would be a partial survival, partial exploration game. You need resources and supplies and camping things, and you need forces to defend yourself. You need multiple people so you can rotate so that people can rest at certain points of times. Like, there'd be all kinds of things you would have to do in order to plan those expeditions, and many, many, many ways for them to go badly. Like, picture Darkest Dungeon kind of style, you know? Hi, to Quack.
Everyone is here? Good. Let us set forth for the void once more.
How do you lose a Discord account, Quack? Asking out of ignorance.
What is it? He's calling.
Here? Why?
What is the meaning of this?
Unless I'm mistaken, that was intended for one of your kin. Who?
It was for the briefest of moments, but I felt her. Ashdire.
I thought she was in the void.
As did I. Yet the presence was unmistakable. Thus did I call out, only for it to fade and vanish.
Perhaps she crossed over to the source, then immediately turned back.
Yeah, no, that's bait.
I do not know. Could she have found a way home?
The how of it aside, if she was indeed in the source, there may be clues where she came through that could lead us back to her. Where exactly was it that you felt her presence?
Far to the north. That was all I could discern.
Garlamald.
The north, you say? Beyond the bounty? Garlamald?
As good a place to start as any. My apologies, Zero, but your return to the Void will have to wait.
I told you before that I have no reason to go back there. Do as you will.
All right. I presume you wish to stay here in Radzatan until we return?
You've kept me amply fed. I wouldn't be averse to helping you on your search.
If Ashdire was indeed here, other Voidsent may have made the journey as well. Very well. We would welcome your company.
If it's decided, then I'll contact our associates in Garlamald. It's me. Still talking everyone's ears off, I trust? Understood. We'll see you there. We're to rendezvous at Tertium. We'll need to teleport to make it there in time. Can you?
Aye. I know it well from my time as an avatar.
Then it seems we're all set.
If there is nothing else, let us see to our final preparations.
Okay. Quite a trick imbuing one's voice with ether. Yeah. Could be she managed to escape from the void if only for a fleeting moment, but that is merely conjecture. We must go and find it and blah blah blah. Let's go. You. Teleport. Oh god, the train station. Hang on, Gig is really cold. Let me fix her real quick. There we go. She's fine. She's fine. Bleeding and cold. Perfect. She doesn't have to think about being cold anymore.
Any moment now.
My friends, 'tis good to see you again.
There's someone I haven't seen in a while.
And you. I was worried that the cold wouldn't agree with you, but you're both looking quite well.
You get used to it. It helps that there's no shortage of fuel and heaters like before.
Glad to hear it. Have you been working in Garlamald all this time?
We have. Though the worst is behind them, the people still have a long road ahead. They've taken steps towards forming an interim government, but it will be some time before any large-scale reconstruction effort can be carried out in earnest.
I mean, we kind of just run around sprinkling republics all across the nation, so... I'll add this one to the list.
So we'll keep doing what we can until they can finally stand on their own. A lot of Garleans wanted nothing to do with us, but they're starting to come round. Slowly, but surely.
I'd say you're doing good.
You're too kind. But it's thanks to the cooperation of like-minded souls that we've been able to make any progress. The Allied nations continue to send supplies, which allow us to meet basic needs such as food and shelter. Meanwhile, Euless and a number of soldiers have begun a restoration initiative, with more and more volunteers joining by the day.
Like Alphino said, they've got a long road ahead of them. But we'll get there together, one step at a time.
Though you yourself helped them take one especially big step, didn't you? In vanquishing that blasphemy in the Tower of Babel? Thank you. I can only hope that your deed will help the people to find peace and closure.
But enough about events here. What brings you to us? And with new company, besides.
This may take rather a long time to explain, but bear with me.
The 13th? After traveling to the edge of existence, I thought you'd keep your escapades closer to home for a while.
Look.
But I suppose there's no stopping you. Not that I'm one to talk, of course.
The heart of an adventurer cannot be denied.
You could have at least invited me, too. Surely there was room enough for me and Grahar in the Undersea Vault.
I thought you were busy.
I know, I know. I only meant to tease. Mostly. But on a more serious note, are we sure it's wise to keep Xenos' former avatar around? I understand how you came to work together, but nevertheless...
You're right to be cautious. I'm a Voidsent, after all. But do not conflate me with Xenos. To recall my time in his service, it angers me.
That is the normal reaction to thinking about Xenos.
Is that so? I think we'll get along just fine, you and I.
Now that we are all caught up, to the matter at hand. As we were about to resume our search in the void, I felt the presence of my sister Ashdaya in the source. Somewhere in the far north, perhaps even here in Garlamald.
Okay, hold up. I know that the community in general is very thirsty for Xenos, and I'm not going to comment on that past that point. They are, after all, allowed to be wrong. No, for real, I'm not actually going to comment. I'm just poking fun. But, like, why would you be angry at Zero for being anti-Xenos? The dude literally enslaved her. Like, regardless of all of their circumstances. What?
If you have seen or heard anything out of the ordinary, I must know.
As a matter of fact, we may have. In recent days, we have had to contend with a surprising number of Voidsent. And not the lesser kind that occasionally manifest, but ones possessed of considerable power.
You think they might have been summoned? By whom?
We're not sure. But as Euless reminded us, practitioners of a certain traditional Garlean art rely upon Voidsent servants.
Why would you thirst for Athena? Like, she is just the single most evil and deranged person in this setting, and that is saying something.
The very same I believe you have mastered. While there are no known Reapers left in Garlamald, we can't rule out the possibility that some are working in secret.
To summon not one, but several powerful Voidsent is no small feat. But if Ashdaya was indeed called from the void...
Then it is likely the same party is responsible. Alternatively, the etheric confluence at the Tower of Babel may have triggered an expansion of natural fissures one could use to cross over. But I think that improbable, if not impossible.
Then we must assume these events have indeed been orchestrated.
It's a trap!
Well, summoned or no, we've been trying to track them to their origin. It's the mountains to the east, we think.
Can you guide us there?
I would, but the terrain is too difficult to traverse on foot. Nor is flying an option due to the winds.
Too much ground to cover in any case. Is there no way to narrow it down?
There is one place we thought to look first. An isolated village rumored to have once been home to a Reaper order.
That would indeed make an excellent start. Though the question of how to get there remains.
Euless may be of assistance. Let us return to Camp Broken Glass and consult him.
I don't know if I have any thoughts worth sharing to Quack on the graphics update for the upcoming expansion. Like, I like graphics updates, and I like under-the-hood updates, and I like engine updates, and I've been arguing that this game needs desperate under-the-hood updates and tech debt paying off for literally years at this point. So I'm glad that they're doing it. We'll have to see it in action, though, to really tell. Now, if you'll excuse me, a truly terrifying visage is dancing in front of me, so I must flee. Away! Where am I going? Oh, I'm just teleporting over here. Okay, sure. Trust me, Lunaruth is the most terrifying dancer ever. Was Vanaspati a dungeon, or a raid, or a boss? Does anyone remember? There's no stopping Lunaruth. She is beyond us. Oh, Lore, what a welcome surprise. Hey, Euless. Or Julius. I see you're traveling with a large crew, as usual. Not to suggest that's an inconvenience for us. We'd be happy to share supplies with you and your allies, should you require any. Apologies if we interrupt, but there is a matter we wish to discuss. We just finished our routine briefing, so you come at a good time. Is this about the Voidsent? It is. From what we can discern, they're coming from the mountains to the east. Practitioners of the Reaper arts once lived in that area, did they not? Yes, they had a village there in Lapis Manalis Caverns. The Scythe wielders formed pacts with Voidsent and took to battle with the beings at their side. For a time, they played an invaluable role in our military, but the advent of Magitech saw them fall out of favor. And when some were unmasked as insurrectionists, the whole order was outlawed. The village is believed to be long abandoned. Speaking of their art, it seems you've picked it up. Who was it that taught you? I mean... Well, I suppose it's neither here nor there. My sister's been taken captive by the Voidsent. I sensed her presence in this land and have come in search of her. If Voidsent have incited there, I believe there is a connection. You should like to investigate these caverns, but Alphano tells us they are not easily reached. I'm afraid so. Deep snow and tumultuous winds rule out walking and flying. If you want to get anywhere, you're going to need a Magitech snowcraft. Alas, the last remaining functional one we had is broken down. Should be over at Cerulean Engines, where it was abandoned. Is there anyone who could fix it? Perhaps the former engineers at Tapper's Den? Their duty included transporting Cerulean tanks to Juturna... Jesus Christ, these names. Juturna Platform G, using snowcraft. I expect they had to maintain a few over the years. Well, that's worth looking into, I say. In the course of delivering provisions, I've come to know the people there quite well. If they can help us, I'm sure they will. May I ask you to accompany her? Given the presence of Voidsent, it's best if we avoid traveling alone. Duh. In the meantime, will you not tell me more about the mountain? I'd like to learn as much as I can before commencing our search in earnest. Come with me. I'll introduce you to someone who's well-versed in local geography. Alize, was it? I wish to speak with you. In that case, why don't you come with us? We can chat on the way. What's Catissus Hyperborea? Okay. Uh-oh. It's the terrifying ones. Back away here very slowly. Okay, run. How's the story of this game compared to FF6? So let me start by saying I have not reviewed FF6, so I don't know is the actual answer. However, I was chewing on that question during the conversation. FF6 is assuredly going to have a denser story here, and it is going to have a higher story ratio. But I think FF14 is going to absolutely crush it in terms of raw quantity of story positives. So make of that what you will.
What was it you wished to talk about?
Why do you help these people?
Really?
What is it that you stand to gain?
I'm sorry?
You don't act on behalf of a higher power, nor are you bound by a contract. In spite of this, you help them. Why?
Well, you see, there's this thing called empathy, and I'm not making fun, because I know you haven't encountered it in about a few dozen millennia.
And there I thought it was something serious. I help them because I want to. Because it's the right thing to do.
But what do you stand to gain? You didn't answer the question.
Nothing?
Didn't I? I followed my heart. What I got out of it came after. Was there anything else? If not, let's keep moving.
Right. To act not out of obligation or in pursuit of gain. To simply live. And they survive like this.
No, we live like this. Yeah, I noticed that one, Locke. She doesn't question it or anything. She's just like, oh, okay, chunk, got it. I don't find the story of FF14 particularly hard to follow, but then again, I'm probably not the person to ask that question. I remember plot beats from 20 years ago, and when they show up again, I'm like, oh, you know. And that's just me. That's just how I am. Having said that, in terms of convoluted or complex storylines, well, FF14 certainly has a complex storyline. I would say it's relatively not bad when compared to some of the worst ones out there that I've encountered. For example, Giga putting over there, her storyline is just... Oh. We should get back to it, but before we do, you alright, Zero? Did I say something to confuse or upset you? No, I'm simply trying to understand your perspective. If you wish to continue, I'm ready and able. Well, that's a relief. This isn't the sort of place you want to mull over things. It's not much farther to Topper's Den. I doubt we'll have much trouble finding an engineer when we arrive. So let's speak with the first one we spot. Now, if your next question is going to be which is better, Shadowbringers or Endwalker, well, I'm not done reviewing Endwalker yet, so I don't know is the answer. Give me until tomorrow, I should have an answer for that question. Wait, I know, you're the one who roughed up the guards! After you left, your contingent friends came along. Our lives are a lot easier now, thanks to them. They understood our plight and offered to help, whether we wanted to stay here or return home. For that, we're truly grateful. We're grateful to you too, Alize. The trip across the lake is hardly pleasant, but you make it all the same to bring us provisions. Oh, don't mention it, we're just glad we can help. That said, we were actually hoping to ask a favor of you today. We need a Magitech snowcraft repaired, the one abandoned in Cerulean engines. We were told you might be up to the task. Ah, so you want to ride the Mammoth? That's what we took to calling the crafts on account of their size. As often as I use them on the rigs, I know a thing or two about their maintenance. I'll see if I can get your Mammoth wrong again. Least I can do to repay your kindness. Oh, wonderful. Please come back with us to Camp Broken Glass. We'll take it from there. Yeah, we're gonna get a hovercraft. In the FF4 expansion, we're gonna get a hovercraft. I have nothing else to add to that. I would say at this point, at the absolute latest, we will start Arceus on Saturday one way or the other. We do have some auditing to do still, because I haven't done the paperwork for Endwalker. Actually, If I'm being totally honest with you, I've been doing the paperwork while I've, a little bit of auditing while I've been reading these out loud to you. But... I mean, yeah, I was pretty obvious about it. What's such and such dungeon? Immortals are more sensitive to cold than I realized. My body's made differently, so I feel nothing. Nothing! Thank goodness you're able to help us. Find someone to help with the repairs. Yeah, tell me about it. Negatives. Welcome back. I presume this is the engineer who will help us with the craft. I do everything that I can. I gotta get her running again, but I doubt I'll be able to do so quickly, at least on my own. Mammoth is big, and so are its parts. Some strong backs would make the work go faster. You have ours. Yeah, that's Estinian. He's a total badass. You finished learning about the mountain, I take it. Aye, we have a solid grasp of the area as well as the side of the snowcraft. My back is perhaps not as strong as some, but I should be glad to stand guard for Voidsent and other unruly wildlife. Much obliged, miss. Let's head over to the mammoth and assess what needs fixing. They have matters here and well in hand, which means we can resume our duties. Would you care to assist us, Laura? Yeah, sure, I got you. How about you, Zero? I will assist you as well, as payment for answering my question. It's hardly something that demands payment, but would be glad for your contribution nonetheless. Yeah, she keeps doing the hat emote. Straight up Cecil, right? Bowhead. Oops. I just don't know what to make of Zero, but her frankness speaks to me. I like her. Can't say I understand Elise's answer, but a debt is a debt. What do you think of it, Ross? My thanks again for agreeing to help. The Ilzabard contingent brings in shipments of food, medicine, and other necessities by airship. We've yet to deliver a share of supplies to Tertium, and I would appreciate it if one of you could assist us with the task today. I'll do it. Well, looks like you're with me, then. Voidsent sightings have been increasing by the day, which is why I've had a mind to go out and patrol the Eblin Rime. Shall we? God, Season 1 Bashir. Enough said, honestly. Here's the actual star of the show. Let's see. I mean, yeah, Kira doesn't have a character in Emissary, to be blunt about that. It is really funny how much better Kira gets over time, because, I mean, really, if you think about it, how many characters were good in Emissary? Really think about that for a second. It's a small list. I will agree with Quark, although he still wasn't the levels of depth he would eventually have. Odo was just kind of a stick up his ass, so he wasn't there yet. Kira was just angry. Bashir was just a prat. O'Brien was good. So we've got O'Brien, Quark, That might be it, if we're being honest. Cisco had some good moments. Really, there's some good individual scenes, but Cisco as a character wasn't really there yet. Nog was... Oh my god, Nog. Oh my god. Good afternoon, Evo. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm catching up on my notes. I've been so focused on the Stormblood and the Shadowbringers notes that I have been neglecting my Endwalker notes. My apologies. Mea culpa. But yeah, no, O'Brien... Yeah, I think O'Brien's kind of cheating. But it's still true. O'Brien was still a good character in Emissary because O'Brien had been a character for 6 years at that point. I almost said 7. 6 years at that point. So he kind of already had the role ready to go. Ducat was a little bit too generic Cardassian bad guy. I actually talk about this in my rumination on it. Because originally, it wasn't even going to be Ducat. It was going to be the other guy, the one that they'd already shown several times in TNG as the generic face of the Cardassians and as an antagonist. And then they brought in Mark Alemo because of some last-minute stuff. So Ducat, just like Kira, arguably isn't Ducat yet. Yes, I have given into the Catgirl side, as you can see. Now, this is the wonderful Lune Ruth. Yeah, exactly. Evil Cardassian number 7. But, I mean, that's true with so many characters. Nog wasn't Nog yet. Oda wasn't Oda yet. Bashir wasn't Bashir yet. Kira wasn't Kira yet. Cisco wasn't Cisco yet. That's true with a lot of shows, but, man, Emissary is weird in how good it is for how absent characters it has. Or how absent of character it has, might be a better way to phrase that. Okay. Yeah, Dax. You notice I didn't even mention Dax. I do like Dax eventually. I do, legitimately. And I think Terry Farrell grew as an actor a lot. But, yeah, you have to remember, Terry Farrell was like the 4th character that they hired because she was hot. And for no other reason. They literally hired Terry Farrell because she was hot. She was a model. And they were like, all right, you're hot. Let's go. And what's really funny is quite a few of those characters and actresses eventually were able to turn that into something good. Jerry Ryan as 7 of 9 is another good, excellent example of that. And so is Jolene Blaylock over at Enterprise. I think that's enough. All right, so onwards. Yeah, Channing Tatum would qualify as well. Yes, Jolene Blaylock was hired because she was a model who was hot. Yeah, they hired a lot of women on Star Trek because they were hot. That's unfortunately quite normal. Now, they will defend this because they will point to examples of women who then were able to started as models and turned that into an acting career by becoming good actresses. But that doesn't really justify it, right? It's like if I slice off your hand and then you go on to have an excellent career as a chef. I don't really get any credit for that because I sliced off your hand, you know what I mean? No, not a visitor was brought in at the last moment because, oh god, we need somebody. Voidsent were spotted here not too long ago. Considering the proximity to Camp Broken Glass, everyone is understandably concerned. But hopefully not for much longer. You follow the road eastward, I'll have a look to the north. You shouldn't have any problem with Voidsent. I won't begrudge you for dispatching them without me. Yeah, Michelle Forbes was like, no, I've got a career going. Which is funny, because her career almost immediately died. I mean, yeah, she had Battlestar Galactica, but really, her career just fell apart. Almost immediately after she left Trek. It has been argued by several people that she should have probably stayed on as Kira. Whether it's true or not, who knows? I don't have a group yet. I don't know if the next thing is a 4-man or an 8-man. Oh no! Yes, there's an overgrown rose over there. Oh, very well, Lady Ruth. Just for you. Listen, if you want to stalk me, you have to watch the stream, just like anybody else. Ugh, I hate the range on things. Come on! Come here. Come here, wake up. Ooh, what kind of sub did you get, Eva? I really need to go to Subway sometime soon. It's all good, Pillars of Snow. I appreciate you. I'm going to cut off soon. It's almost dinner time for me. This is a very, very short shift today because I wanted to get caught up on the Papal Week. The Papal Week! I did it. I'm happy. Like, I'm really happy to actually be caught up on that crap. Sub.
All finished, are we? Good. The cold doesn't let up out here, does it?
No.
They've the means to keep everyone warm at Camp Broken Glass and Tertium. But the measures are still only temporary. Subsisting on charity. Dreading the day the sympathy of others is exhausted. It's no way to live. They need lasting safety and security.
That's true, and that's also not your department. That's more Alphanos. Or, well, hell, Nanamos at this point. Or Loloritos.
Though things will never be as they once were.
And thank God for that. Anytime someone's like, oh man, I miss the good old days. Sus.
If we can restore a modicum of normalcy to their lives, maybe that will be enough for them to move forward. If we're to achieve that, we have to work harder. I have to work harder.
Yes, another man the Dan. Try not to overdo it, Alize.
Oh, come now. You think I don't know my own limits?
Is that a serious question?
Still, I appreciate your concern. Well, our work here is done. We should be heading back. I hope Alphano and Zero haven't gotten into any trouble. I cannot imagine how awful it must have been to serve as Xenos' avatar. To not only suffer him, but so much else. She's a fighter, all right. Like you and me.
Thank you, miss. Thank you.
Potatoes, cheese, and apples. I'm not making fun. That's solid. That's a good source of nutrition when you don't have a lot.
Strangely familiar.
Excuse me, Alphino. My wife, she's come down with a high fever. Do you think you could take a look at her?
Of course. Give me a moment. Zero, may I leave the rest here to you?
It's really funny. If you really pay attention, you can see how the basket is actually moving independent of Alphino's arms. But I'm not going to make fun of that, really. They've come a long way with their cinematography in this game. They could not do this like 2 expansions ago. You know what I mean? At all. In fact, if you remember, I pointed out the exact cutscene, which was a Shadowbringers cutscene in, I want to say 5.2, where they finally actually figured out how to do this kind of stuff. 5.3, excuse me. I wrote it, I remember it because I wrote it down and I just read it in my own notes as I gave it its own notification in like the increase in animation and in camera work and cinematography, because there's actually some actual cutscene work going on now.
Fine by me.
Thank you again for your help. Zero, was it? I take it you're one of Alphino's comrades?
Comrade? We've entered into a cooperative pact, if that's what you mean.
Pact? No, nothing so formal. What I mean is, you must know each other well. Be on good terms, enjoy each other's company, that sort of thing.
Then no, he's not my comrade. I have none. Nor will I ever, I think.
Oh.
Did I say something odd?
It's fine, as Mirastar. He removed the giant stick up his ass.
No, not at all. On the contrary, it makes sense. When Alphino and the contingent first arrived, we rejected them out of hand. Whatever they may have claimed, they were the enemy. Savages with their savage ways. To accept their help was to admit defeat. But no matter how poorly we treated them, they didn't turn their backs on us. They stayed and listened. That's just the kind of people they are. Makes sense they'd get along with someone like you who tries to push others away.
Get along. I'm upholding my part of the bargain. There's nothing more to it than that.
If you say so. Ah, I'd nearly forgotten why I came. Are you hungry? We all get rations, and considering the work you're doing, you're as good as one of us.
I am running low on ether. Very well.
Buns!
Azim Steppe-style dumplings. Butts, they call them.
Oh my god, dumplings. That's even better. Oh, man. I want dumplings now.
Never had a dumpling. It's like The kind of bread stuffed with a filling, meat or vegetables usually, that you bake or steam. We have our own recipes in Garlamald too. My mother liked to make them. My brother and sister always fought over the jam-filled ones. Just think of it as bread, alright?
Oh, that actually looks good. You suck. No, she is physically capable of eating, Eva. Although she has yet to figure out taste buds. Okay, that's showing off the tech right there. Did you see that? They even zoomed in for that.
I should warn you though, they're spicy. Helps them keep longer, I assume. Too much for the children to handle though.
Interesting.
I'm about to have dinner, so I'm hungry.
Interesting good, or interesting...
I didn't actually have lunch because I was in too much of a rush, so...
I don't know much about taste. Not anymore. But I do feel a sensation in my mouth.
Is that a bad thing?
Not necessarily.
That's enough for me. I've heard it said that spices are more akin to fire than flavors. Perhaps that makes them easier to understand.
Oh, Euless, getting acquainted with Zero, are we?
I suppose I am.
No harm in that. Acquaint away.
What was the name?
Everyone is here. Excellent. Thank you all for your hard work.
What was the name of the third deep dungeon, the one we did a few days ago?
I've just finished up myself. Shall we go and find Estinian?
Orthos, that was it. Thank you.
Alphino! Alize!
We've got gyros, melon pie, urchin pasta, and pianolo tomato salad. Got a bad feeling about this. Forgive the interruption, but I come with grave news. A horde of Voidsent are approaching from the mountains to the east. The numbers beyond anything we've seen. What? But Y'shtola and the others. Anyone outside of Tertium is in danger. We must find and bring them all here at once. Can we count on your aid, Zero? I've already settled the debt for my question. I'm not obligated to help. What's more, death in this world is absolute. You asked me to put my life on the line. Without suitable payment, I will do no such thing. That's fair. What do we have to offer that might be enough? Also, don't you want to die? You're right, sir. You're not obligated to help, and I wouldn't presume otherwise. Nevertheless, we are in need. Assuming the booze I gave you is worth anything, Would you at least be willing to stand and watch this encampment? That way more of us will be able to go out and see the people to safety. Very well. Unless we come under attack, I'll do no more than stand watch. Alright, that'll be safe enough with Zero here. Let's go find Y'shtola and the others and assist with the evacuation. Oh, this is a solo-only thing. Sure, sure. Tertium will be fine. You listen as people have weathered far worse. We should make haste to the snowcraft. Given their position, then we may soon find themselves at the mercy of the Voidsent. If it comes to it, we must be prepared for battle. Upon doing this, several things will happen in succession. Let's risk it. We have to pause, we have to pause. Sorry, Blitchball. And see around another man the Dan.
Report. Lost contact. When? Voidsent. I'd bet my life on it. Understood. I'll investigate at once. A unit transporting supplies has gone silent en route to Broken Glass. I will go and search for it. Stay here and keep watch. But be ready to answer my call.
So you know all that food porn we just saw? Well, apparently my sister is psychic. Because she has brought... Woohoo! Chocolate peppermint cookies. Which are not... warm.
Yeah, they're
Warm.
fresh out of the oven.
Warm. Those are really good. Thank you, sis.
You're welcome. This is a cookie I have been meaning to make for you for literal years now, since you handed me... You gave me the peppermint kisses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Those are very good. And now I'm dead. But that's okay, because I died to a really good cookie. These are really good. Here, just smell them through the monitor. Smell. Smell them. Yes.
This is a particularly tricky cookie to bake.
Yeah, they are kind of falling aparty.
Well, that's because they're just out of the oven. But they are particularly difficult to bake because they are brown.
Okay.
Which means you can't tell when they're done.
Oh, yes.
So you either end up with brownie cookies, because they're not cooked all the way through, or you end up with burnt cookies, because there's like a 2-minute window.
These are excellent. Have you tried one? You don't like peppermint.
No, I like peppermint.
Never
And there's
tried
a...
it.
This is like half of the batch.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole tray of them upstairs.
Gotcha.
Half a cup of sugar, half a cup of half a cup of granulated sugar, half a cup of brown sugar, a third of a cup of cocoa powder, 2 eggs, a cup of Crisco, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then peppermint chips. Bake at 350 Fahrenheit for 5 to 7 minutes, or until the top stops being glossy.
Whichever comes first.
Which actually, when I say the top stops being glossy, this is them not being glossy.
You can't get eggs in Hungary, Giga Pudding? And no, I have not, Ross. I didn't even realize.
Granulated sugar, brown sugar, cocoa powder, eggs, vanilla, peppermint chocolate.
She can't get peppermint.
This is Andy's. Andy's mint.
Ah, sorry. Try and rest my arm somewhere that doesn't interact with my sister's hand. I've decided to stay in this country for these cookies. And for no other reason. I never noticed how obvious Link's face is right here.
It's very obvious.
Yeah. You ever notice that? Is that in? Yes.
They would mail to places that are that close.
Do it, Doom Rider. Do it!
Alright, I'm gonna go rescue the husband.
Okay. Do we have an ETA on dinner?
He's cooking it.
I know, I'm just asking so I can schedule.
He's starting now.
Got it. Okay.
So you've got at least an hour.
Oh my god. Okay. We got plenty of time. We might even hit the dungeon. Or raid. Alright. We now return to our regularly scheduled broadcast. Nightmare's Terror. Remember how I didn't eat lunch? A unit transporting supplies has gone silent en route to Broken Glass. I will go and search for it. Stay here, keep watch, but be ready to answer my call. They're so good. My sister is a great baker, and I'm not saying that because she's my sister.
Voidsent, you'd be a fool to go alone.
Seriously? I'm not saying that because she's my sister. I'm saying because she can't hear me right now. She is a great baker. She makes great baked goods. I asked her for one thing for Christmas. I asked her for cookies for Christmas. I wanted her to bake something for me.
They'll find you before you find your men, and then they'll devour you as well.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps I don't stand a chance, but I can't just abandon them.
I can't repay you for the bread if you're dead. I'll go.
What? No! I couldn't possibly ask you to do that.
I do like Euless. It's wild how much he turned around.
Dealing with Voidsent. It makes sense.
Like, I'm sorry, it is absolutely wild how Euless went from being such a prick. One of my favorite secondary characters in this expansion. Hell, in the whole game, really.
Or do you mean to say you'd rather I stay here because you can't protect this place on your own?
Ah. Fine. Just don't do anything stupid. Promise me.
Damn these demons!
What's up?
Return to the camp. Now.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Kindred, why do you interfere? Ah, of course. You sold your soul to feed.
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you of you being dead.
I have taken bread, but my soul is forever mine.
I like that quote. That quote is weirdly applicable to real-life scenarios. So yeah, now to play as a Reaper. Fortunately, I've played as a Reaper before.
A deal is a deal. I cannot let you pass.
I think we can just skip ahead in the combo by like 3 steps. Like, yeah, no. Yeah, I was just thinking that all these Voidsent are going to be permanently dead because they died here. Maybe that's the solution. Just keep summoning Voidsent over and over and over. And then kill them here. That's actually probably a terrible idea, by the way. Don't actually do that. No, think about that for a second. Ignoring the incredible increased amount of darkness ether that would add to this shard, which who knows what would actually happen in that case. That could lead to a lot of bad things. It would also leave the 13th still there, and still devoid, and all the problems that that employs. Honestly, I stand by what I said earlier. Fixing the 13th is the best long-term solution to all these problems. And that means rebalancing the ether there. And that probably means siphoning some of the ether out of the 13th into someplace like the first. And then, you know, doing a bit of essentially ether trading. Very carefully, very precisely, very controlled. We know what messing with planetary stability does in this setting, when we don't know what we're doing, so... I did notice that as a Ministar.
Not good.
Let's go faster. Let's test something. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I can't.
That's what I thought.
How big must the gate be for their light to come through? Is this it then? Just like that time.
On that day 5 years ago.
When light still shone upon the world. When the Contra Memoria still raged.
Stand aside if you value your life.
We're only after women and wine. Darkness can take the rest.
You're not taking another step towards that village.
Stupid girl. You were warned.
Gotcha. And now we can get back to our business.
Get up! Get up, damn you! Too weak. I need help. Someone, please. The same mistakes, the same ends. Again and again. What should I? What could I have done? What?
About time. Christ. Sorry. Just they're screaming at me. Why am I not there already to help her? Yeah, I got you back.
You. What are you doing here?
I just said this. I've got your back. You don't know who I am? Oh, I guess you don't. Hi, my name's Lore. I've got your back. It's on my business card.
Y'shtola and Estinian had matters well in hand, so we went where we were needed.
Can you stand?
Yeah, you have who's back? Yes. That's the goal. Little late. So we came to help you. They really like that animation.
All right. I will let it burn. This fire in my breast. Let it burn and rage and guide.
Thank you for the sub, Hive King. I always appreciate you. And if you know what up to 3 things you want to put that towards, do please let me know.
Thank goodness we're not too late.
I actually had a random thought in the back of my head. It would be really funny At one time, we walk up to someone and they're like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a Star Destroyer." They're like, "Oh my God, you're gonna destroy the planet?" No, a star. Oh my God. Look, it's a whole thing. Just trust me. Hey, didn't we fight something like this in Dune Scathe? Or not Dune Scathe, sorry. I don't know what the name of that stupid place was. I feel like I've seen this model before, is what I'm getting at.
My strength is spent.
Weeping City. That's the one. I mean, given how that works, it might have literally been this guy. Although I suppose not. Never mind, I'm wrong. Ignore.
Split up!
Stay sharp.
Oh God, it totally does, Malkaiser.
Everyone all right?
Yeah, we're fine.
Not finished yet.
I mean, again, I find myself wondering how many Voidsent willingly accept a summoning as an attempted suicide. You cannot tell me that's uncommon. Look, I'm a paladin. I'm not really built for DPS, so you're gonna have to help me out with this.
We must weather this together.
Wouldn't you? Yes! An eternity of enduring. An eternity of hunger. Even when you get absorbed, you're still aware and still conscious. And eventually you'll be released, and then you have to go back to enduring the ceaseless hunger.
I will repay this debt.
Yeah. No, thank you. I'm good. What's really messed up is of all the horrible things the Ascians did, what they did to the 13th was an accident. Like, that just bonkers me a little bit. They're horribly evil, but even they didn't intend that.
Long enough. I will finish. Now. Let's buy her some time.
Okay. spawning as I kill them. Are you seeing that?
I am your end! Well done!
You got any other tricks? Asking for a friend. See you around, Devo. Enjoy your foods. Or else.
You did well to find me out here.
We have Euless to thank for that. He was quite worried when he called.
Euless is a bro. Telling you, getting that stick out of there. Just, woof. Thank you.
No. If it was not for you and the others,
Bought us time so we could come in and save the day? Yeah, I agree with that. Good job.
Well, let's not fuss over details. We should return to Tertium. Can you make it that far?
I think so.
Yeah, let's go get some more buns. And that's not even a euphemism.
Zero, are you all right?
Well enough. No Voidsent struck here, did they?
No, and there weren't any more casualties thanks to you.
Oh.
Seriously. Buns. Let's go. I was not being facetious.
You'll have no debts to repay, if that's what you're worried about. If anything, I owe you a week's worth of boots.
Yeah, maybe let's introduce her to alcohol. I'm sure that'll go over well. This is called being drunk. Fascinating. Ah! Sorry. Zero's convalescing worth the trip. Euless has already given her something to eat, so I suppose all we can do is wait. I can't help but one. Oh my god, we've got to introduce Tataru to Zero. We've got to make that happen. What possessed her to go and fight all those Voidsent on her own? Not that I know some going right for such things, but I doubt one booze would suffice. I think someone's been a bad influence on her. Oh, look at me! Oh, I'm just joking. Or am I? In any case, many people owe her their lives. I'll be sure to thank her when she's back on her feet. Well, yeah, because she doesn't know how drink works, so she's just like, oh, thanks for the drink. And we're all just watching her like, Zero? Zero? Oh my god, Zero. And then she's like, and we're like, no! As Alice said, many people owe Zero their lives. This is not her world, nor her battle to fight, yet she risked life and limb for us nonetheless. That will not be soon forgotten. Now then, I expect our friends will return soon. Once everyone's gathered, we can take stock of the situation. We must gather our party, that we might venture forth. Actually, I do, little Billy. Apologies for the delay. I have finished replenishing my... I've replenished my ether. I'm full glad am I to hear it. We must thank you again, Zero. Indeed, many are still alive because of you. Those soldiers, not the least of all. How fared you? Better than I did, by all accounts. Lady, don't... Like, I'm gonna say this as nicely and unbraggingly as possible. Don't compare yourself to me. We had to contend with our fair share of Voidsent en route to the snowcraft, but we had the benefit of numbers. With their help, we quickly dispatched all the Voidsent that came our way. Thankfully, they stayed dead in our world. We were trying to decide what to do next when we received word about the transport. Which is how Alize, Lore, and I came to find you. Yeah. Hi, I'm a planet cracker. Don't worry, I don't want to, but I could. While the immediate threat has been addressed, we cannot rest easy yet. For Voidsent to appear in such numbers, we must assume that a void gate has indeed been opened nearby. Many more of them can come through at their leisure. Seems the best course of action is to investigate Lapis Manalis as you intend. What's the state of the snowcraft? Well, we just talked with Edward, and he got it from up underneath the sands, so... We need to go find the antlion next. Wouldn't dream of refusing you, but what did you have in mind for payment? Payment won't be necessary. I will do this because I want to. You have kindled something within me. A compulsion, a desire to act that has been burning since you came to my aid in the snow. Actually, I do, Loke, unironically. I do not understand it, but I wish to, and to that end I will heed it. Then perhaps I'll understand your answer. The difference is lightning is just bonkers super overpowered. We would need motivation to take lightning down. So lightning would have to show up and be like, I'm gonna kill the whole planet. And also Alize, and we'd be like, not Alize! And then, yeah, sure, we could take lightning at that point. I would also like to join you in tracing the Voidsent to their origin, though that would mean neglecting my duties here. Don't worry about us. With my people in the contingent, we can keep things running well enough. Just find where the Voidsent are coming from and see that they stop. Yeah, lightning shows up and has, like, Grahatia in her... by the neck, right? In her hand, like, I will crush his spine. And we're like, no! And then, you know, boss fight. I meant one-on-one, admittedly, Melkaiser. Remember, lightning killed the deity and creator of her setting by herself. Which is, it's just, she is the most ridiculously overpowered character in Final Fantasy history. I've said that many, at least of the protagonists. I've said that many times. There are some strong characters in the FFs, and then there's lightning. Good night, 040. Have a good one. What's really funny is I like playing a very powerful character. Obviously, because I like WoW, and I like FF14, among many other examples. But yeah, there are limits, you know? There are limits to ridiculousness. And frankly, I also think you need to earn it a little bit more. Why is lightning so powerful again? Now, there are some answers to that question, but they're not very satisfying. They never really bother to explain why Lightning is a colossal badass. She just kind of is. Like, she becomes a deity of time, and then she gets selected by her local god. But neither of those things really explain her power level. She is just bonkers strong. Because she's the PC. And, again, I like being strong, but yeah, exactly. Lightning, I hate to use this word because it is massively overused when consulting and discussing fiction, but I do think Lightning qualifies as a Mary Sue, because she makes the meta-narrative worse simply by her existence. The too much of what she is and why she is for real-life reasons and not for in-character reasons. The people to have to go such lengths to traverse a single mountain. The people of this land do not have easy lives. No, we do not. There you are. Your timing couldn't be better. Thanks to Varshan's help, I've managed to finish the repairs faster than anticipated. The mammoth's ready for snow once more. You can leave the paladin to me, too. It'd be my pleasure to get you where you need to go. You are too kind. Thank you. Let's be on our way, shall we? I mean, honestly, Blade Taval, I'll leave the paladining to you. Oh! Dungeon time! Well, dinner is still not ready, so, filling up quick. I'll get Blade Taval, because I know you were in. Lune Ruth, I know you're in. The last slot, you have 20 seconds to kill each other over it, because I am in a hurry here. If I had to pick the second most powerful PC amongst the FFs, I'd have to think about that. Good night, Wenlock. Do you want a tank, Blitwell? I can try a Black Mage again. Okay. Sorry. Don't bother, Doom Rider. Don't bother. We'll just grab Giga. We are in a bit of a hurry. I do need a healer, though. Unable to play Glamour here. Oh, whatever. I've yet to try out Black Mage to my satisfaction. Decide quick, the Nerif. I do too, Doom Rider, if I could figure out how to play it, which is the problem. Terra comes to mind immediately as a very, very powerful character, for the basic reason that a lot of very powerful characters tend to be powerful when well written, because so much of her power is out of her control. Indeed, much of the major story arc of Terra is coming to grips with what she is and learning how to deal with that. Also, in FF6 in particular, being a hybrid is usually a best of both worlds, as opposed to a worst of both worlds kind of a situation. We see this with Realm as well. And Strago. Apis Benalis, there it is. Cloud was experimented on by Hojo and imbued with Mako and Genova. The Genova pieces in him are pretty much directly responsible for him being able to accomplish anything that he does. That's true, Omega Legion. Now, I agree with you that he shouldn't be that much stronger than, say, Zack, for example. That's the mammoth? And the idea of Cloud taking on Seth one-on-one is ridiculous. I do actually agree with that. With a party, sure. That's different. Ooh, I like it, Giga. I like it. Okay, let me see if I can remember how to play this. Start with 3. We go to 4. We go to 3. Then we go to 4. Yes, I know I'm doing single target. I'm trying to learn it. Give me a break. Give me a break. 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's fine, Von Falkenstein. It's fine. Oh god, we can see the Tower of Babel in the distance. Can we knock over that freaking tower, please? Like, just please? Well, Evilise in general is much lower tier than the other, so that tracks. Eyesore on the universe. Decent snow dungeon as far as snow dungeons go. Snowcloak is not a dungeon I'm super fond of, not gonna lie. Oh god, it's Britain! Points if you get it. Ultima, obviously Malkaiser. That's a joke. I don't think we should ever have Ultima. Legitimately, I think that would be a terrible idea. Just that slow. I don't know. Maybe it just Tetrises you better, Linera. Oh yeah, you know what? Starfall. I like that idea. Give us Starfall from Dissidia. I used to use that spell all the time in Dissidia. Pretty much just for fun. It was a terrible idea and it almost never worked, but it was so visceral when it actually happened, when it actually succeeded. Excuse me. Oh yeah, Mateus was one of my favorite characters to play as. Not the one I was best at, just the most fun. Well, one of the most fun. Oh, Kane was legit, especially if you were really good at controlling the job. Oh, Jesus, no kidding. Omega Legion. I really loved the whole style with how they made him the trap mage in Dissidia in general. That was inspired and worked really well, I think. I also enjoyed Cloud of Darkness for what is functionally the same reason. Turning her into the giant beam mage. Tons of range, nice, big, obvious attacks. Relatively easy to dodge, but very satisfying if they land. I mean, that's just Laguna in general. Whoops, I'm bad. Screwing up my rotation. Nope, I'm just gonna eat it. Just gonna eat it. It's the healer's problem, not mine. I'm in the middle of casting. Black Mage! Oh, there is a text. I didn't even see that. Maintenance of the Galatea must be maintained with the utmost care. The delicate art of their making has long since been lost, making repairs difficult, and reproduction all but impossible. The knowledge was kept secret, passed down to those who could inherit the knowledge at the position of Master Dollmaker. That is, until one man chose to break with tradition. He claimed to be leaving on a journey in pursuit of an unparalleled beauty, but we never heard the truth of it. The only thing that is certain is the art of our forebears left with him. Emperor Solus is convinced this Magitech will spark a revolution in warfare as we know it, and he devotes further resources to its advancement. Our arts continue to fall out of favor. I fear the age of the Reapers come to an end. After all our forebears have sacrificed for the good of the Empire, the blood spilled, the lives lost, they would dare deem us relics of a bygone era. Indeed, they believe the future lies with their Reaper battle armor. Aspirants are reminded not to approach the figures of the Pale Harvest without express permission. They should be treated with no less reverence than Galatea herself and are hardly less dangerous. Only those who have successfully forged a pact with an avatar may spar with the Galatea Parva. They will serve to refine one's use of invocations and tactical coordination. The Galatea Magna, however, is reserved for those who are able to serve as host to their avatar. This periculous mannequin is designed to push a Reaper to their limits, if not beyond them. Learn to walk in Death's shadow and you will know no fear. Come on. The assaults from outside tribes have markedly increased of late. The Geraldines prove an especially barbarous thorn in our sides, their nigh ceaseless pillaging, no doubt an effort to hoard supplies in preparation for the coming winter. No longer able to tolerate the damages suffered by these incursions, the Senate issued an order for the king's assassination, and we Reapers were asked to ready our blades. With the 3 of her fellows in tow, Galatea set out under cover of night and infiltrated the enemy fortress. What, von Falkenstein? Their mission was a great success, which soon put the enemy to rout. Yep, Edge Geraldine. I'm almost positive. And hey, it's Galatea. Time to be the worst DPS in the group. Reminds me. Let's see if Linearith is paying attention. Nope. Ugh. Yeah, that looks like a familiar attack. Secretly, I think Linearith just wanted me to die. I had a doom effect, Linearith, that had to be Esuna'd off. Okay. Ah, too far. I'm dead. Yeah, sure. Let me use my Black Mage powers to res. And I just start casting Fireball on Linearith's corpse. Like, get up, Linearith! Yes, by Ash, be reborn! Alright, it was nice knowing you, Giga. Ah, who needs food, Linearith? I have cookies. You know, I've played Infamous. Maybe we can res people with lightning. I mean, it'd be better than Necromancer, Omega Legion. Yeah, so the Doom effect, without anyone to dispel it, was the end of that. Excuse me, you were doing good, Giga. For real. You know, I don't actually know, Melkaiser. I don't know if you could block Doom, or Invuln or whatever. No, you're fine, Linnerth. I'm not calling you out. I was poking fun. That's different. Secretly, Linnerith just wanted to conquer the Lore Walkers for herself. Yeah, something I've complained about literally since I first played this game. Excuse me, that's not true. Since I third play this game. Because the first class I started playing as on this character was Paladin. Was that Invuln is not Invuln. If I hit invulnerability, I like to be invulnerable. I'm aware of that, Omega Legion. I don't know if there's a focus thing in this game, Linnerith. Does anybody know? Ah, there is a focus. What do you know? Wait, unfocus. There we go. Alright, who's ready for terrible DPS? Giga, I know your back is super strong. So you're gonna have to carry me here. You got this, Giga. I believes. You know, what's really weird, and I've been trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong here, is when I played this class at 80, it made perfect sense. And something has changed since then, and I'm not sure what. It's possible I'm just an idiot. That's always a possibility, isn't it? Oh, I could use triple cast, but I hate to say this, but that doesn't really matter until I can figure out what I'm doing. Like, for example, I keep not proccing Despair, and I'm not sure why. And I had this figured out, because Despair's an 80 spell, not a 90 spell. Oh, that's right, we did kill Despair. Well, no wonder I'm screwing up. Ah, bull crap, that hit me. And yeah, I actually noticed my Enochain stacks were dropping, and I'm not 100% sure why, which is the other issue. Maybe I need to do 2 instead? I accept. I accept. By the way, did you notice that our evaluation ranking was 12? Not even the lowliest of Voidsent would be daunted by such meager strength. Thanks, game. I admittedly stopped paying attention to mechanics because I'm trying to learn the goddamn class. No, it's my fault. My DPS is terrible. Blade Traval was out DPSing me. Not that I would ever run a meter on this kind of game. There's no such thing as add-ons. It's a rumor. It's a myth, Giga Pudding. I think I'm willing to just give up on it, honestly, Milkgeyser. It's obviously not for me. Like I said, the frustrating thing is I had it, and I even enjoyed it at 80, and I haven't figured out what I'm doing wrong. I haven't figured out what changed and why I just suddenly lost it. It's not that different. I might be rusty, but then again, I also figured out every other class within literal minutes of picking them up and playing them. I mean, the problem is, no matter what I say, someone's just gonna be like, oh, you're just dumb and stupid. Because elitism is a thing that exists. So I will keep my thoughts to myself. And in my document, obviously. I am very dumb and stupid. Wait. We've looped! Are they actually doing another Black Mage overhaul? I mean, at least Ninja makes sense, and I can put out some good numbers on Ninja. Ninja is my second least favorite class, by the way. But again, it is still at least a solid class, which is well designed, and I can put out good numbers on. Why is this thing not dead? Kill it! Yeah, Despair is your flare equivalent. But you need to do something to proc it. I don't even remember what. Whatever it does, it's supposed to...
All shall cower before the might of Archfiend, Canyazzo!
Hi. Well, I'm playing the wrong class to mess him up, but Giga's got my back. Literally, in this case. No, I legitimately wasn't expecting Cagnazo to just kind of be like, ah, what's up?
So long! Don't disappoint!
I love his voice acting. Don't mistake me, Michael McConaughey is amazing, but that's awesome.
Brace yourselves! I bring my all to bear!
Hi, Evo. How ye be?
Drink deep of blackest terror!
They really do like their memorization mechanics lately, don't they? Oh my god, he did, Omega Legion.
You really must try harder! Battle does so whet the appetite!
Okay.
No more games! Be swallowed by the tide!
Yeah, like I said earlier, I never would have called this kind of a dialect or accent for Cagnazo, but it fits weirdly well.
That's not right!
It just locks in. No, I figured out why Despair wasn't working. In fact, I figured out everything. That's not actually a joke. Everything makes sense now. I'm just gonna get hit. I need to cast. I mean, Colkney is usually associated with a brutish type, and that just fits Cagnazo, especially compared to the other fiends. What was wrong? Well, the first and most obvious thing was I wasn't accommodating Paradox in my brain as Fire 1.
A fitting finale. Why are you still alive?
God damn it. Ah! Oh well. Oh yeah, I also haven't been using Leyline at all. I managed some actual damage that time, though, so I'll take that. Whoops, wrong document. This time. No, you're not. Don't lie to me, Malkazar. It was the cookies! The cookies allowed me to think straight. No, later on. Like I said, I pushed out some actual damage that time.
Tell me one thing, Cagnazzo. A dragon of our world crossed over into yours long ago, but I have felt her presence here again. What is the meaning of this?
I dare say what you felt was this.
By the sisters. What have you done to Ashdaya?
If you want answers, you'll have to get them from Lord Golbez. Assuming you've the strength to face him. A pity I will not see the plan to fruition, but my part is done. And to fight with the thrill of battle in my heart makes it all the more worthwhile.
Yeah, enjoy permadeath.
Oh, wait! Where is she? Where is my sister?
At long last, I go to join the great flow.
By the gates closing, there can be no doubt that he was the one who opened it.
Oh, Ashdaya. I prayed we might meet once more.
She is likely still in the void. Take heart. We will find her yet.
I'm predicting she's turbo dead. Or miraculously slave to Golbez because I've played FF4 before.
So what now?
While you discuss how to proceed with your search, I would excuse myself to look around. There may be salvage that we could use at the camp.
In that case, I'll patrol the area for more Voidsent.
Very well. Let us take a moment to consider our options.
I have to assume it's at Vitra's request, Omega Legion, because I cannot imagine like any other reason we wouldn't. Now, why Vitra isn't, well, that's a little bit better of a question. 1 second, please. Wow. No question, Ross. No question at all. WoW is the least hostile to new players, 100%. Every other MMO requires asterisks and guides and friends. You can just hop into WoW and be like, boop, inside of like 20 minutes. Why does he look so defeated? We're closer to finding his sister, are we not? Oh, they should go to far as use Ashdaya's eye as bait. What could they be after? By the way, thank you for keeping up with my literally deliberately standing in the fire self, Linnea Ruth. I was pretty decisively doing that on purpose because Black Mage. And, you know, I was spending more attention to the Black Magery than everything else, so I do apologize for that. Now, I think my niece is coming down here, which means I have to pretend that I can't hear her. So I can be very surprised when she jumps out and attacks. What are you doing? Oh my god! Okay, that actually did surprise me. You win, you win. Oh, it's cool. Did you make it?
Yeah.
Do you want to show it off? That is very cool. I didn't even notice you could see through the eyes. That's clever. And yeah, you can see through.
Hard to see through. They have like a green tint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some things are a little hard to see. I can read chat, for example. But that's very cool.
Chalky cookie on the floor.
And yeah, I like everything. Even the eyebrows. Or whatever those are supposed to be.
They are eyebrows.
And the star on the forehead. You did good. I steal. But cast it into the fire. Destroy it!
Okay.
Wait, no, don't actually, no! That would be funny if, like, he didn't mean it, and then he's like, okay, just starts tossing the ring, and you know, Elrond's like, no! Jumps in after it.
Oh, I saw this meme and it was like, I can't, Sam was like, I can't throw the ring in, but I can throw you!
I like it. Can I take a picture? Thank you. So we've discovered the source of the Voidsent outbreak in Garlamald. Oh, by the way, do you know when dinner's going to be ready? Okay, thank you. A gate forced open from the void. The barrier between our worlds is especially thin here, I suspect. Elsewise, I see little reason why the Reapers chose to live in such an inhospitable place. Even if the conditions are ideal, we're talking about a gate that could pass an Archfiend. Opening one so large could not have been easy. In the age of Alec, Emperor Zand created an enormous portal using the prodigious amount of ether harnessed by the Crystal Tower. In theory, a similar feat should be possible from within the void. One need but have the requisite amount of ether, such as that absorbed by a Grey Worm's eye. And its ether is indeed greatly diminished. In Lore's vision, Golbez let his Archfiends feed upon Ashdaya's ether, if he's also taken the eye to open the gate. Does not bode well, I know. Nevertheless, we must remain hopeful and continue our search. What I find curious is why our foes chose to strike now, some 5,000 years after Ashdaya vanished into the void. I've been wondering that too. Normally I'd chalk that up to bad writing, but what has happened lately? What's changed lately to allow Golbez to start moving now? And I actually do have a theory about that, and it has to do with the Moan. Partially because this is an FF4 expansion, and partially because it's the biggest change to the status quo in the last begrillion years. I don't know the specific moving parts, but the removal of the barrier from Zodiark is probably, and the removal of the Despair Wave is probably what caused this overall. To embrace death, to find satisfaction in oblivion. Perhaps it is indeed true that many Voidsent yearn to return to the life stream. I mean, if you were tortured forever with no end in sight, wouldn't you want to die, Yustola? Seriously. Oh, Ashdaya, what has become of you? That even your eye should be so spent of ether. I cannot bear the thought of her being held captive a moment longer, but how will I find her? What must I do? Calm yourself, Vitra. I appreciate you're upset, but such passion clouds your judgment. You must endeavor to remain composed. When your mind is clearer, we may consider how best to proceed our search. You're right. In the meantime, I will help Alphino and Alize back at the village. That sounds like a fine idea. You should go as well. Yep, and I can play any class other than this. There was one last thing I did that made the Black Mage finally make sense. And it's going to sound really pathetic, but it's true. So several people were giving me guidance on how to play the class. And I even looked up a guide on figuring out my rotation. And I threw all that out the window. The moment I did that, the class started making a lot more sense. I have a weird feeling I don't think as linearly as other people do when it comes to class design. The fact that my rotation can literally go from mouse click to C to Z to V, and that just makes perfect sense in my head, probably says all it needs to. But yes, we'll default to Machinist. I've been enjoying Machinist lately. How do I get out of here? Get me out of here! Ah! I'm trapped! Wait, it's inside the dungeon? What? God damn it. Okay. It should be interesting. Find out how this is gonna wake in a second. Anyways, why do you ask, Ross? Every other MMO has asterisks when it comes to new players. FF14 is over-tutorialized to hell and back, but it also doesn't tell you things that you really, really need to know getting into it. It has a very nice community, which is usually welcoming and embracing, but at the same time, it's very easy to bounce off its many, many, many mechanics and systems. Guild Wars 2 is a very solid game with a very good community, and the gameplay itself is very easy and smooth to understand and work through. However, you also have to understand that the overwhelming majority of the initial content is literally guided improperly and pushes you towards doing the wrong things. So you learn the wrong ideas and you learn the wrong gameplay loops and you end up bouncing off the game. ESO is pretty neat, except for the fact that you pretty much need to have a walkthrough in order to know what content to do when. Now, you could say that about pretty much every MMO to some extent or another, but I've never seen it worse than ESO. I actually do still have a guide bookmarked right now, which tells me this is the order in which you should do the expansions. But it's worth noting, even that guide isn't 100% because a lot of those expansions aren't really expansions. Like, some of them are just rep grinds that happen to have story attached to them. Other than that, ESO is pretty solid. Good, decent community from what I've seen, and the game is pretty intuitive and you can pick it up and figure it out pretty smoothly. WoW's biggest problem by far is that it has an inordinate quantity of content and doesn't really give you guidance on when or how you should do it. I mean, WoW's 20 years old, for God's sakes. WoW is relatively easy to understand what order to do things in, though, if I might be so bold. Skip BC, the Burning Crusade. Skip Wrath of the Lich King. Start with Cataclysm. Now hang on, there's actually an asterisk to that, but my point is, if you go to Chromie, and the game does tell you where Chromie is right off the bat once you finish the tutorial zone, and pick the Cataclysm as your starting thing, the guidance quest and the vector quest should handle it from there on. Having said that, you probably know, Ross, that I have a pick this first to see if you like it the most thing for everything. I have that for Star Trek, for Final Fantasy, for Mega Man, for Star Wars, right? Obviously, I have that for WoW. So my biggest piece of advice for WoW, if you want to try one zone and decide, do I like World of Warcraft, is the Jade Forest. Now, there's going to be a little bit of guidance you need to get to the zone, but it really boils down to talk to Chromie. She's a little gnome. She's got some bunch of bronze gear on. She's standing on a hourglass. She's standing on an hourglass. Talk to Chromie. Say, I want to go to Pandaria. Go to Pandaria. The first zone it'll guide you towards is the Jade Forest. If you like the Jade Forest, you're good. If you don't, probably not for you. Oh yeah, and don't do crafting, like, at all. Just don't even touch it. Let's take comfort in the knowledge that the Void Gate is closed, and the people of Garlamald need not fear the hordes, the Voidsent hordes. We're here to help Alphino and Alizé, aren't we? There's little else of interest here, so I wouldn't be opposed to the diversion. Let Vitra be. He needs time alone with his thoughts. Oh, you've come too. Yeah. Crafting's in a very strange spot in WoW, and frankly has been for years. Talking about why would be expansive and in-depth, but what it really boils down to is crafting functionally doesn't really have a lot of gameplay to it, and that's the problem. So, crafting is lengthy and involved and, frankly, boring, and grinding like hell. It is very, very grinding. It is lucrative. And it is, you can make a lot of gold crafting. And there's more pieces in place than ever before to connect players to other players to get what they need. So if you are a leather worker, you don't need to be a skinner anymore. And that's neat. But crafting as a whole is just vestigial, is what I would call it. It honestly doesn't need to be there anymore. Unless they completely overhaul it to make it actually have some gameplay. He needs a moment to himself. While he is indisposed, we thought we'd lend you a hand. I've just finished patrolling the area, so we're fine on that front. There are no signs of Voidsent, and I doubt we'll see any more now that the gate has been closed. As for Alphino, he set his sights on the Cerulean Spring. We're hoping to take as much of the stuff as the snowcraft can bear. That much fuel could keep the people warm for a good while. We managed to procure a few suitable containers for transporting the ceruleum, and we're about to return to the spring. If you would mind to scrounge up more containers, I can take what you have now and get them filled. Thank you, Estinian. The more we can load into the snowcraft, the better. Would you and Y'shtola mind helping us with our search, then? You'll need to take any suitable containers to the spring, and then back to the snowcraft once you fill them with ceruleum. Kind of yes, Ross. So if you end up liking Pandaria, I would absolutely recommend rewinding and going and doing Cataclysm. If you end up loving Pandaria, then go ahead and consider going back to the bad expansions, which is Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King. But I wouldn't recommend them under otherwise circumstances. Even if you like WoW, those expansions are just magnitudes worse. So, grain of salt.
Minutes.
Still?
Yeah.
I've had time to do an entire dungeon. An FF14 dungeon. Which I know you don't really understand the significance of that, but it's not a WoW dungeon. Okay.
20 minutes.
Cool.
Yeah, I had time to do all of the dragon riding glyphs.
What are you doing? Evo likes your dress.
Thank you, Evo. Oh.
Oh yeah, I need to see the image, Bragwin.
Good job, Breakwin.
Hang on, where are we at? Oh, she just took a picture of the thing, but that's okay.
I see. You made asparagus and what looks like mashed sweet potatoes and steak. Nom.
Yeah, it does look legit. By the way, congrats on the new place, Bragwin. I do hope it's better than your old. I would say something else, but this is not polemic.
What does BTB mean?
By the by, I believe.
I don't understand the question, Falkenstein.
How far are you by the by? Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. Explain yourself, then, Falkenstein. Wrath has some good quests, Giga. Hell, BC has some good quests. But...
Bragwin! You should come play WoW with me.
Don't do it, Bragwin. Don't do
Because
it!
I'm not a shitty pug.
I mean, that's true. She's not. Oh, how far is she in FF14? She's like level 8, I think. Right? Yeah. Let's say nowhere.
I have hit the double digits on one of my tunes.
Woohoo, as they say.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ceruleum down here. Look at all that.
All the empty quest that people rag on, or empty text that people rag on, I'm really enjoying, so I'm reading everything.
Are you doing secondary quests?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm literally doing everything.
You are literally the first person I know who has not bounced off the game for doing secondary quests. Counting me, by the way.
I've been having lots of... But all the secondary quests are stupid shit, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, that is a true statement.
So why are you running around with a gun?
Because I am a gunner.
Oh.
Yep, let's just grab some liquid fire. Oh yeah, no, I had to do you know me, I was doing a lot of the secondary quests first time, and I just hated it. I hated it so much.
But they're so funny.
I'm glad
like,
you're enjoying them.
Like, they're stupid shit.
I'm really glad you're enjoying them. Yeah,
I'm still waiting for Von
Falkenstein.
Yeah, I get that, Von Falkenstein. But I got pissed off at how my character looked.
And she didn't want to wait until she got the item that you get for free to change your character's appearance.
Their race.
Yeah.
You can change their race.
Yeah.
Just because.
What's it called, everyone? I don't remember because I still have mine.
I also hated my class. And then I ended up being on the wrong server.
I think I don't have it here. Must be in my actual bank. Fantasia. That's what they're called.
Anyway.
I mean, that sounds like a familiar story to me, Blade Taval. I rag on WoW Vanilla's quests, but I came from Asheron's Call. So WoW Vanilla quests were still a step up for me.
Anyway, I have one quest left to do that has one race left to do. But here's the problem. All the other races, which means I can't get the achievement. Because that's not a
What are you doing?
getting the other.
Just because I have gray hairs.
No, you have like 2-inch long eyebrow hairs. Are you trying to become a blood elf?
No, they just happen. You know this.
I think he's trying to become a blood elf by letting his eyebrows grow out.
Listen, I put some mana into these. That's why they're so minty. I've always thought mana would taste minty. Because I'm weird.
Nah, you can wait, Evo. He's still doing things.
Yeah, you know,
which
you
means
should
things are
definitely
going to
wait.
change.
You should definitely wait. I still have like 10 Patreon things from today to write down too. You're at the Underworld. Ah, excellent. I hope you're enjoying it. Do I think Asheron's Call would beat WoW BC? In story? Absolutely. In gameplay? No. WoW BC is not a good expansion. But it's still better than WoW Vanilla by a huge leap forward. And by natural consequence, is much, much better than Asheron's Call. Oh, there it is. Couldn't even see the damn thing. I like my outfit.
What thing?
Exactly. The interactable on the ground.
Mm.
Oh, this might be voice acted.
I mean, I would hope so, given the fact that it's not giving you subtitles.
Is Ritra not back yet?
My apologies for the delay.
Are you all right?
I am. As distressing as this turn of events was, the eye itself gives me cause to hope. While it is no longer possessed of Ashdaya's will, it may yet. Were it not for your encouragement, I would never have dared to embark on my search, much less come this far. I will not lose faith. I will find my sister, wheresoever she may be.
Yes, my sister is a cutscene skipper.
I wasn't trying to skip the cutscene. I would respond to Evo.
We are glad that you found a way to fix the bug. You'll have to tell us what it is later.
Though tainted, the Eye has not fully succumbed to darkness. Ashdaya herself may have been able to resist its influence.
Well, as much as we'd love to take part in your next foray, we can't abandon our efforts here.
Indeed. We'll need to keep a close watch, in case the Void Gate opens again as well. Though should it prove safe to do so, I have some ideas for how we might put this village to use.
Do what you must. We will manage.
Just at a guess, I think he's going to try to export ceruleum to the other nations in order to give them fuel and resources in exchange for food and resources to get the Garleans back up there. Give us our Garlean restoration! Alright, sorry.
To free Ashdaya, I expect we will have to deal with Golbez once and for all, after which you may undertake your work without worry.
We look forward to the glad tidings.
You'll take good care of everyone, won't you?
What? Why do you ask me this?
Because comrades look out for one another, and I can't think of anyone more qualified to keep them safe.
True. I will do no less than I've promised.
If our respective plans are settled, then let us head back.
We could have a whole conversation here without saying a word. Y'all know the emotes.
That hurt my ankle to do the...
And then you do the...
Excited.
No,
the excited. It hurt
well,
my
yeah,
ankle.
Yeah, I would request you not to hurt your ankle.
Yeah.
No ankle hurt. Oh my god, someone somewhere. Here's Bragwin's at. I don't think you're dressed for the weather, Bragwin.
No, you're really not, Bragwin.
I mean, you're gonna kill me.
You look
but
very excited.
that's how she's keeping her heat up. Is, oh god, hi Giga.
Giga is dressed for the weather.
She is. Giga is actually dressed for the weather, as you can see. She's ready to go. But
Bragwin, put some clothes on.
it's fine. Here, by the way, I don't think I ever show this. So this is my gathering gear at 90.
Gathering?
Yeah, all my gathering suits are the same outfit. See?
I don't understand gathering.
Mining, botanist, fishing.
Ah.
And I think that's it. My crafting gear looks like this. And this amuses me. This is the
Mad
crafting
scientist?
suit. Yeah. And it's all, this is chef. Blacksmith, carpenter, goldsmith. Yeah, it's the mad scientist look.
Okay, Bragwin is now dressed for the weather.
We did it! Oh, thank God. Okay, I can go back to being a machinist. Oh God, Linarith is also not dressed for the weather.
Linarith, you're not dressed for the weather.
Nope, she's dancing, keeping herself warm. Blade Duval is kind of dressed for the weather. So we got one... Well...
I don't think Blade Dwarval really cares. He's got a suit on.
He's got the... Oh, well, speaking of which, here, let's...
You need Blade Dwarval. What you need is a beanie.
Are beanies in this game?
I don't know, but they're in WoW now.
That's true.
Which tickled me.
Where's the other... Oh, it's Dancer, isn't it?
There
Whoops.
you go. That's dressed for the weather.
This is also not my Dancer outfit, but...
But it's dressed for the weather.
There.
That's your Dancer outfit?
No, this is my Reaper outfit. You would actually probably like this class.
What is your Dancer? I want to see the Dancer outfit.
Okay, let me advance this quest so I can go to town, so I can change my transmog, because this game's transmog sucks.
I'm confused.
Yeah. Here, watch. Let me turn into my Dancer. Oh, it didn't work.
Why didn't it work?
Because I'm not in town.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways. Is this voiced? Nope. I suppose this is where we part ways for now. Though we have every faith in you, we will pray for your safety all the same.
You're succeeding, Blade Dwarval.
The Hitman. Look, yeah. Oh God, I'm still a Reaper.
Yes, you are.
I'm just giving solidarity to Zero. I'm glad we had a chance to talk, Zero. Take care. Until next time. Bye, Zero. Someday I hope to find a scythe that actually looks cool.
There are eyes under there. Let us tilt the camera.
Till next time. Okay. Quest complete!
Woohoo!
We did it. If the pattern follows, there will be an 8-man after this, which we'll do tomorrow, of course. I don't have that much time. But,
Bragwin?
Bragwin's keeping warm. She's keeping... She has to. Look what she's wearing. She's wearing Rydia's outfit.
That's not any better, Bragwin.
I mean, it is.
Not really.
She's wearing pants now.
Do you see? You can see her breath. She's not... No.
Am I right in assuming we're to return to the void? Now that matters have been settled, yes. But first, we should return to Rod's.
Those are only thigh highs. That's not helpful.
When we're ready, let's convene at Meguta.
Know the place.
But first, I have to go to town so I can show off my freaking outfit. What's a good town to go to?
Left.
I'm being picky for no reason. There's like no reason whatsoever to go to a specific town. But this is my town, so what do you want from me? Okay, so, Dancer. This is my Dancer outfit.
Now dance.
You got it.
Where's your mini skirt? Go get yourself a mini skirt.
This is as mini skirty as I'm getting. I'm just saying.
You should get yourself a mini skirt.
This is...
You need to be gender equal and show that men can wear skirts.
Okay, here you go.
It's not a skirt.
Behold.
Those are pants.
Tell you what. So one of the...
And it would be better if they're pink. Your Reaper needs to be pink. I'll make your Reaper pink.
Healer classes literally wears a dress, okay?
Okay.
So let me switch to that healer class here. And behold my infinite power.
You're not wearing a dress.
No, I'm not. I worked hard for this outfit for my healer, by the way.
That is very healer of you.
It is. This is definitely how I heal.
That is very holy paladin.
I am here to heal you. Now, the best part is, that's just one of them. Check it out. Also got the blood red version. And probably the best one.
The silver and red. No, I like the blood red one better.
Really? Unfortunately, I still don't have my cosmetic weapon, so I just have... That's actually my real weapon equipped. But I can do things like...
Also, that's not a dress.
Behold.
It's not a skirt.
The power.
That is a cloak.
I'm just here to blind everybody. Remind me. Yeah, 2 die channels. I'm actually looking forward to that. Yeah, Blood Lily. Gotta get our Afflatus Misery going out. My mage is so cool looking. You know what? I feel like healing you. And I feel like healing you. And I feel like healing you. And then I'm going to heal you. And then I'm going to keep healing you. And then I'm going to heal you with this. And then I'm going to drop another heal.
It is really cool looking.
Here. And then we're going to do this. And then we're going to do this.
Things down.
And then we're going to do this. I'm not done yet.
I don't know how you see what you're standing in.
I'm not done yet.
That's what you're standing in.
Practice. This is, by the way, so you, of course, in chat know this. This is when other people's spell effects turn off. So all I see is my own spell effects. I had to turn that off because people requested it because they were getting too bombarded with spell effects.
You mean I couldn't see what was going on?
I usually play with all spell effects on.
Oh.
So. Oh. I wish we could, like, go somewhere to generate Limit Break so I could show her Red Mage Limit Break 3. Where's Reggie? Where's Reggie? Oh yeah, he's ready for the cold, as you can see.
Very ready for the cold, Reggie.
He's got this. I kind of prefer my warrior gear myself. I have the paint axe.
Paint.
Look at it.
It is a very large axe.
It is a very large. It is a comically large axe.
Both of your axes are very large.
I asked Evo to draw Guy's axe this size, and she refused flat out. She told me no.
Why?
And so, if you ever wonder why Guy's axe is a quarter of the size of this, that's why.
That is also a large axe.
I mean, all the axes are large, really. See? She's like, too big. It's like, but this is Guy. It's Guy.
Honestly, that's an axe that's a polearm. Like, if you're gonna have a two-handed axe, that's what it should look like.
I'm with it. Although I do prefer, actually like my polearm too, while we're on the subject. It's probably my simplest outfit, but I'm rather fond of it.
That is more a skirt.
Yes, there you go. I have done it. I have found a skirt.
Right. It's very samurai-ish.
You're...
Samurai-ish?
Well, that's funny, because this is my dragoon. My samurai...
Yeah.
Looks like this.
Does not look like a samurai. Your samurai looks like he belongs with the Three Musketeers.
I love it. I also have actual armor on, if you notice. It's just under the robe there.
Yep. I noticed.
And of course, I have the coolest sword in the game.
See, why can't WoW do this?
Which part?
Your hat has a cut in it for your ears.
Oh, that's coincidental, actually. I happen to have... that's why I use this hat. It's some random gray hat that just happens to fit my ear setup. Like, if you saw this on anybody else, it's the same hat. Like, it just looks like that. Oh, I don't have a hat on this character. Whatever. There. I'm now wearing a dress.
You do have booty shorts on, though.
I'm wearing a booty shorts now.
Yes.
Just for you.
This is acceptable.
Just for Giga. Solidarity with Giga over there. See, that's her Reaper outfit. Get it?
No.
It's a farming outfit. For her Reaper.
Okay. But she's gonna go reap some.
Yeah, I agree with that. WoW needs to allow our hair to be visible. So for those of you who don't know, when you put on a
WoW
hat in
needs
WoW...
to freaking stop having eyebrows and ears stick out of helms.
When you put on a hat in WoW, your hair literally de-renders, like it goes away. Back in vanilla, this was done as a programming thing to save on rendering, to make it easier to render. We're past that point. Let us have our frickin' hair. Then again, in this game, people liked, oh, I don't know, Bragwin over there, can't wear hats.
Because she has ears?
Yep. Just straight up, nope.
Okay, put a hat on.
Okay.
That isn't the hat that you have.
I know. I have like one class that has a hat, and it's this one.
No ears. No eyebrows.
Yeah.
And WoW, both your ears and your eyebrows would be sticking out of that.
That's true. That's true. All right, Reggie. You and me. Let's go.
They do on every... That's a big sword.
Yeah.
See, I would have agreed with Evo if she had gotten mad about the sword. The sword was too big.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, I'm going to need a sword to be this big in RFF4 Evo, just so you know.
Because that sword is too big.
In fact, here's Cecil. Here you go. Here's Cecil. Also, this is also Cecil.
There are two Cecils.
What's funny is this sword is actually really big if you think about it.
Yes, but that one's okay. The other one, it was like 3 times as wide as it was long. That's an exaggeration. It wasn't actually.
I mean, it is pretty big. It is a very large sword.
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
Because like half of your sword is not useful because of the really shit.
You really... So, hang on. Did I hear the chain axe there? The sword axe? Or the chain sword? I thought I heard it for a second. But yes, there's a fell scythe, which is why I don't have that one.
Okay.
Screw it. We're just going to go back to the old-fashioned. I'm ready. Let's go. Oh, yeah, you already did right. I heard it. Ah, there it is. It's a chain scythe, which is what I was hearing. Anyways, I'm going to stop streaming now.
Good night.
Tomorrow, hopefully, we will actually finish the MSQ. We'll see.
I didn't realize that you were actually on your FF14 block.
Yeah.